Hey guys, Fusebox here, and I have been waiting to do a guide on this guy. I've been waiting to build this guy. We're gonna get into Drexthar Bloodtwin because he is another free-to-play friendly legendary that you can get by doing the maybe boring but not so bad 5 3 versus 3 arena hits every day. Every day you can purchase for 360 gold bars, I believe, one fragment of Drexthar. So 100 days of doing that, and you do get a legendary. It is something that a free to play can do. You just have to be grinding through. You can set a weak defense for all three of your teams so that you stay low. That way you can get wins every day. I pretty much just do the 5 that I have to do every day for advanced quests. But I did pick him up a little while back, and I waited for this event so I could actually build him up with some other characters. He's a demon spawn. That is one of the reasons I wanted him. The main reason I wanted him is he's super cool. This guy is super cool. I mean, just look at him, right? He's like a flaming, a ball of flame in armor. He's super neat looking. His kit is really cool. I don't have any books on him, but he'll work just fine without books, and has some very special spots. And there are a couple ways when you're gearing him out. We'll go over the couple ways that you might want to use this guy. The way I'm using him. But let's look at his kit. A1, it's a 3-hitter. Love those. You can give him Giant Slayer. I've actually helped somebody build. He's not a clan boss hero, but I have helped somebody. I used him to help build a strong team because he has a all battles aura for 70 accuracy, which helped land all the debuffs. He makes an excellent tank, so he was front and center, taking all the hits, and lands HP burn, which is kind of like a poison on the clan boss. And we ended up doing a pretty solid team with him. I'm not saying he's a clan boss hero, but he also does pretty good damage because of that 3-hitter A1. It has a 30% chance of placing an HP burn for 2 turns. It heals him by 20% of the damage inflicted, which is really neat, as long as the target is under an HP burn. There's going to be a lot of HP burns going out, so this helps keep him healed. It's like an extra piece of lifesteal gear. It makes him an even better tank. And remember, he is a tank. That's what you're going to want to do. He's defense-based. You're going to want to build him up with high defense. His A2 actually is a very hard-hitting... it's in the top 15% of the game. It's a godlike attack. Attacks all enemies. Has a 40% chance unbooked of placing Provoke. That's definitely solid. He's a tank. He can provoke the team. That does go up to a 60% chance, which is a decent chance against an entire team, especially when we start talking about spiders. We'll get there in a minute. But this chance is increased to 100% if the target is under an HP burn. So again, every time he takes a hit, also it places decreased attack for 2 turns if the provoke is placed. Now this won't work for clan boss, which would be amazing, but it does work anywhere you can put a provoke. So there are 2 of the Doom Tower heroes that I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this guy on. Doom Tower bosses, sorry. The dragon that you can provoke, this will allow me to provoke him, and also it will allow me to keep an HP burn on him and decrease his attack. And the Frost Spider is exactly why I wanted to build this guy. That and Faction Wars. I needed one more good, strong hero for Faction Wars in the Demon Spawn, and this is my guy. So also, this is a very cool passive. Basically, when he's hit, he has a 55% chance. You can buff that up to 65. Yeah, almost a guaranteed that when he's hit, he puts on an HP burn. Now, this starts playing out really well in it's going to be good on Frost Spider, I'm sure, but definitely in spiders. So his resistance goes up 10 for every enemy that's under an HP burn. It stacks up to 50. So when you're building this guy, again, he has an aura that can increase everybody's accuracy in all battles. That's useful if you're still progressing in the game. So when you're building this guy out, the places he can be used, he is probably the absolute best because of his affinity and his build. The best tank for Spiders 20. A lot of times I'll throw in Rosin if I just need somebody to soak up damage. He's because he's a tanky character, he's the wrong affinity. And that allows me to put in my Cold Hearts and maybe my armor, and just kind of do that regular team where you grind through the spider. This guy can do all that tanking, but much better because he heals himself. He places HP burns as he's provoking and being hit by the spiderlings, which also, instead of just tanking, he's now a part of your team. He's putting out HP burns, much like an HP burn strategy. Now, he can't do this 100% across the board, but consistently he'll be laying those down, and he'll easily stay alive as he hits the target. They have HP burn, he heals himself. You could even put him in lifesteal gear if that is your goal, to beat spiders. He's also, when his affinity is not weak, and he may not be your tank, but he's still great in spiders. He throws out that provoke, still bringing spiderlings towards him. So he's great pushing through any of the spiders. But if spider's 20, his affinity makes him the tank. Absolutely 100% amazing. In that scenario, again, you may want lifesteal gear to increase his survivability, but in the end, all you got to do is have this guy tanky, fast, and accurate. You're going to need accuracy no matter what build you're going for. Now, I'm trying to build, I want this guy mostly for Doom Tower. That Frost Spider, you can see I went a little bit higher than normal on my accuracy. I'm over 300 because the Frost Spider, the further you get, especially when you're playing in hard, it takes a lot more accuracy to land an HP burn, and you really do need to land that to be able to guarantee the kill. So that's 100% kind of what I'm going for with this guy. Even unbooked, he's very capable of doing this for me. So I went real high accuracy. You're always, no matter what build you're doing, you're going to want good defense. You're going to want to focus on his defense. And as always, because he's a tank, extra HP is a great bonus. But defense is your focus. You're going to want him at a usable speed around 180, like pretty much normal. He does hit very hard on that A2. So if you're using him to get through any waves or killing spiders as well as tanking him, this crit rate, I didn't push crit damage, but I definitely want him to go ahead and hit because he does hit hard. And then after that, now, if he's specifically being built for a spider tank, you could take this accuracy down to 200 or 220, and you could push his resistance up as high as you can, meaning he won't take any of those poisons. His resistance naturally will build up because of his passive as well. So he becomes, absolutely, I don't think you could dream up a better spider tank who's actually doing damage as well, not just through his moves, but through his HP burns, which is known to be amazing on the spider. So if we want to show this guy off, he's really good almost anywhere. He's got a 3-hitter on his A1. Super great to take him into the Fireknight, and along the way he can provoke enemies, put out HP burns, and just do his thing, kind of help you get through the waves and break that shield down and hurt the boss. He does it all. Let's see, his affinity, I guess he would struggle in Ice Golem is probably where you wouldn't want to take him, but he is a tank. But again, I don't see what he really is going to bring to that dungeon. But the wrong affinity on Spider turns out to be a blessing. So he's great. I mean, possibly the best to take into spiders, which we'll do today. Dragon, he's absolutely the right affinity. He'll help you get through the waves if you give it. Oh, and Masteries. I believe we need to real quick actually do his Masteries, or have I done them? Okay. Well, here we go. I'll be right back, and we'll go over him. All right, so on his Masteries, you can actually have some fun with this guy. I was looking these over. You could do some really, really fun stuff with this guy. But what I'm looking at is you're probably going to be using him on spiders. Other than that, maybe crashing through waves. You're probably not going to make a clan boss hero out of him, though I did find an exception where he was actually the best on somebody's account to help me make a good team. So, and Doom Tower, he's going to be absolutely amazing, as well as Faction Wars. So, keeping that in mind, to get damage out of him, though he does have an amazing hit that could justify Helm Smasher, it's not his only move, and the rest are kind of average. So, I'm going with Giant Slayer, 3-hit A1. This is going to help wreck bosses, and bosses is kind of where I want this guy. So, I just took my regular crit rate, crit damage. I did take Life Drinker. He's going to typically be a tank. I want him to heal himself up. Cycle of Violence. This is where I want to get back around to that hard hitting move, or whether it's the hard hitting move or just laying more HP burns. Definitely want to be throwing out provokes as often as possible. Kill streak, just had to take something. It was either going to be Blood Shield or Kill Streak for me, so I could get down into Giant Slayer. I also up here took Heart of Glory when he has full health, a little extra HP. I mean extra damage. So the offense tree is kind of straightforward, almost like a clan boss build, even though that's not what it's for. Now the support tree, you could go down defense. You could definitely go down defense. You could even go all the way down here if you wanted to increase his chance to provoke. I don't think it's necessary. If there are HP burns out, he's going to have a 100% chance to provoke. Otherwise, it's still a good shot. And not to mention, he doesn't have to be the only HP burn character on your team. He could simply be your tank. You could still throw out HP burns, and at that point, he's guaranteed to provoke everybody you're up against, which would be an amazing way to use him when he's on any stage of spiders. Again, I keep wanting to say he's so great as a tank, but he's great when he's not a tank because of that provoke. So he'll force himself to be the tank either way. I took my accuracy. You're probably going to want to do this. It's all about landing HP burns and provoke. I did go into Arcane Celerity. Anytime any of those HP burns or provokes expire, 10% turn meter boost, making him a little faster since he's a little on the slow side on my build. Cycle of Magic, hopefully getting back around to doing that big move. Evil Eye, I don't even have to say it, my favorite ability on here. Master Hexer, I wouldn't mind any of the HP burns lasting longer and increasing the chance. It's a 30% chance on the HP burns, and like a 80 or 85% on when you're attacked by his passive. Boost that by 5%, and now he's a really solid guy. This really is pretty much the way I would want to build him. You could take a few different damage outfits over here if you were really trying to put out damage, and in that case you would build him slightly different from me. You would simply be pushing more crit rate damage. That's about it, and trying not to do it probably at the expense of some of that accuracy I have on him. But high accuracy build is definitely the way to go. So where did we land here? Almost 40k HP, great for a tank. 4.5k defense, could be higher, but I'm trying to make a real balanced build here with a lot of accuracy. Guaranteed to crit, not too bad on crit damage, not too bad considering. Right about in the sweet spot for being usable on speed. So solid build. I have literally not taken this guy to a single place yet. Just finished building him. So let's get him into some content. Alright, so this is like a pretty cool team to throw together here. Everybody's going to try to build a Cold Heart at some point if you're lucky enough to get her. If not, you can settle for Armiger. Does the same thing. Kind of has that big hit and does a lot of turn meter control. And naturally, you would pair them up if you had them. These guys are going to be doing the raw damage against the spider and keeping the turn meter down, hopefully enough to get through this. I don't know if it'll be a fast fight, but it should be a fun one. You're going to want some support anyway. You're going to want somebody who can come in here and help your team. Miscreated is great at this. You could bring any good shielder, great healer. Seal of the Drakes would probably do really well here. Here's our tank. He's there simply to tank up all the Spiderlings hits and at the same time put out HP burns, giving us extra damage. And I'm taking Achak the Windarin because he plays out really well when there are HP burns out there. Now he can freeze the spiders, which will help us stay alive. But when anybody that does have HP burn takes a move, it actually heals our heroes, which means I'm an even better tank. So we'll see how this plays out. Fast, I doubt it'll be fast, but it definitely should be solid. So Drexthar's over here. We're gonna put up our shield with Miscreated. I forgot about that amazing buff of strength that we get. But over here, we're already, by default, we're the tank. We're going to take all the hits. And we're landing HP burns every now and then. Now we're starting to land them more often. Every time they hit Drexthar, look at the little HP burns on all of them. It's also healing us every time they take a move with that and killing the mother spider when they take a move with that. Now, if he were booked out, we'd probably already have we'd have more HP burns out, which it's looking solid right now. and I'm sure we would have it on the mother spider by now too, which would heal us even further. But the idea here is watching him be a solid tank. Uh, I mean, no issues at all taking these hits. And you could put him in life steal. You could, if this is where you need him, you could drop that accuracy to around 220, and that would give you the ability to put more defense on him, and change your gear up to something like life steal or even immortal set, something to keep him alive, even further. But it's such a cool pair to put him up with the Windarin Ashak, because that actually gives me a heal every time those HP burns take a move. There's so much happening here that it's actually quite amazing. To be honest, this is a neat team. It's not the fastest team, but I wouldn't mind fitting him into my actual HP burn team just to add to the HP burns to keep them going. Or you could bring somebody like Vizier and spread that HP burn once it's on one of the enemies, and man, it would never end. But as of right now, I'm kind of curious to see if he actually does more damage with the HP burns than Coldheart does with her Heartseeker. It'd be worth seeing for sure. Provokes are going out, about like they should, about a 40% rate, it looks like. Lots of HP burns. It's actually pretty impressive. We're having to deal with... We're not doing a lot of turn meter control here. We're about to lose Miscreated too, but we should be able to push through with or without him. Like, what an amazing tank, especially for spiders. Yeah, it with all. Let's see, we should get HP burns coming in now, and this is over. Now it's over. Not bad. That's the first place I've taken him. This is the first run with Drexthar Bloodtwin, and he's doing exactly what I wanted him or expected him to do. Look at the damage he did. Without even actually throwing out an HP burn, he puts him out by taking hits, and that's pretty amazing. And now remember, I did have extra support because of the Windarin's extra ability to heal every time somebody has an HP burn and attacks. Again, Ice Golem Peak, I don't see any reason to take him there. He'll help you get through the waves, do a little damage on the boss. Actually, really good for this, but and we know he's good for that. A 3-hitter, he's a neutral affinity. We know he's going to be good for that. What we want to do is get into the Doom Tower. This is one of the things that I'm actually building him for. So, where's the dragon? It looks like this is the furthest dragon right here. So, against the dragon, I mean, this is early enough you can just power right through him. But on the dragon, Provoke actually lands, so you kind of get the idea here. On the dragon, you're going to provoke him as well as put up HP burn. Once the HP burn's on him, you'll actually decrease his attack, helping you stay alive. But the Frost Spider, boy, I've got to push through this stuff. I've got to get through it. I need to be doing higher levels. Now on the Frost Spider, you want to land HP burn to kill the spider, unless you actually bring somebody who can block revive, which in this case, that is why I have Armor in here in case the HP burn doesn't land. But I want to see if I take him out, put him in, hit start, if this is a more effective, how often I build him up over 300 accuracy, and I want to see if he can actually put that up on a more consistent basis. So really all I'm looking for is, can I keep that HP burn up? Because while it's up, the resistance of the spider goes down, making all your other debuffs easier to land. Landing it the first time, it's going to take it's already up. We already got it. Now we've got the speed down on the spider. HP burns on, well, it spreads to the spiderlings. They'll be dead soon enough. So I tell you what, because of the length of this fight, it probably won't take 4 or 5 minutes if the HP burn works. So we'll there it is. He put it up right there. I don't know, it doesn't look bad to me, guys. looks like a pretty solid hero, which this was one of the places I had high hopes for him. And again, on the dragon's probably the easiest of all these bosses, but provoking the dragon helps keep him from hexing everybody. It keeps him focused on somebody, so that's about all you need to know. Slam that dragon while you're provoking him. That's about it. We don't have to show him off there, but here we've got a 3-turn HP burn landed because we gave him a Master Hexer. Means we got 2 more rounds before I even have to worry about putting it back up, and he's consistently putting it back up, which he did again. And if you're getting to the point, you might get to where you just want to focus these little spiders. They should die either way, but he'll spread his debuffs to them. Right now, everybody's under it. But if they're driving you crazy, just get rid of them. It doesn't take long. Focus them down. You can stay on auto and just click on them, and then the rest should be easy. Again, we've got 3 turns of HP burn. I cannot see this going wrong. I really can't. I could even make this a stronger team now, knowing that he's consistently putting that up. I could bring in stronger heroes and probably kill this spider in under 2 minutes for sure. I love it. I love it. This is exactly why I wanted him. Exactly why I built him the way that I built him, with high accuracy. Absolutely brilliant for the Frost Spider. And Faction Wars is not up. If it was, that's another reason I wanted him. Beat that last stage. I need one more solid hero, and it looks like that's what I got. He's free. He's free. Just every day, go to your arena battles. He's not that great in arena. I'm sure he could be useful, but not having 100% chance to provoke, unless he comes after a guaranteed HP burn, then he would be useful. That's pretty specific setup. But in here, you just go to the bazaar, and every day he'll be right here. Just buy him for, I think, 360 bars. And, if you're struggling in here, go to your defense and set up a weak team. Look, I even do it. Set up weak teams, and then every day when you do your 5 hits, you'll come in here, you'll hit refresh, and they'll be super easy teams. Everybody in here is easy to beat. That's kind of one way to just guarantee you're getting those wins. I may start pushing it now that I don't need Drexthar anymore, but he's free to play. You can get him, and he is worth it. He's absolutely worth it, and he's fun. I'm sure we can get creative and come up with much cooler things to do. You could put him in a provoke set to guarantee more provokes. I don't think it's necessary, but you can have a lot of fun with this guy. Absolutely amazing on spiders, perfectly made for Fireknight, and might be, on my account, my best hero for the Frost Spider. And you can have him too, so go get him. Good luck, and until next time, enjoy the grind.